Hey YouTube, this is Dave, and today I'm going to show you every single possible way that you can hook up, you say your iPhone or iPhone 4S or iPhone 4, whether it's 30 pin or lightning cable. I'm going to show you from least to best way to connect it to your car. And I've tried many ways, as you could see, all these wires and devices. And first we'll start out with, you're in your car, you're listening to music on your iPod, and you stick your earbuds in your ear. But that's not good because, by law, you only have to be able to clog up one ear with a headphone, not both ears. You'll get a ticket for it. So let's forget that. Then, the other way is that you can hook up a 3.5 to 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, if your car has that. And you connect one into the iPhone or iPod that has your music and your videos or whatever, and you can watch the screen and have your audio going through your speakers in your car. If you want that, that's fine. Now another way is to have your car equipped with an RCA or HDMI connection, and where you can connect something like this, where you have an RCA on one end and a 30 pin on the other end. The only bad thing is the iPhone 5 has the lightning cable, so what are you going to do? You have to connect maybe one of these. This is the Apple's 30 pin to AV, lightning to 30 pin adapter with the wire. There's one that just has the adapter with a little lightning on top, but this is the extended cable. I recommend this over the other one, because if you have a case, it's easy to put this one in. But anyway, you could put that on the end of this, or the end of this component cable. But not a lot of cars have component connections. Most likely they're going to have an HDMI or a RCA. So let's forget about that. So you can use this to convert, but the only problem is it does not display album artwork. You won't ever get video from this. This is basically for syncing and for charging and for audio. So you can actually get your audio through it. If your car was equipped with a 30 pin, you could put that, or if you're using this, you could put that. The only problem is, you have to get the RCA connection in the back of your radio. If not, they have third-party adapters and little boxes that do those things. So that's another way, but RCA, horrible image. Component gets a little bit better, but there's not really a component in car radios, so forget about that. So you can use this to adapt. That's fine. Alright, now the next thing you can do is you can use that RCA to 30 pin, and you can use like an app that you get at Cydia, like Air Server. And what you could do is you can hook this 30 pin, you can tether your iPhone to your old iPhone 4. This is the iPhone 5, and you could tether it and send video and audio over, and then it will go through the 30 pin, because the 30 pin allows video and audio. But that's hard to do because you have to have either a personal hotspot or tethering or whatever, or even a separate MiFi, but who cares about that? It's, something that you can do. That's pretty good. Now the other option is that you can use one of these cables. This is Apple's lightning to HDMI, and you see there, and then the little slot is to power up your device that's hooked up, and you can pretty much connect these like this, and then this one goes like this, and basically all you do is put an HDMI to an end here or here, and then you have to, if you have RCA in your car, if you have an HDMI in your car, that's great, but most cars don't. But if you have an RCA, then you have to buy some sort of converter like this that converts HDMI to RCA composite, and then you have to power the unit, of course, with your cigarette lighter. And after a while this gets hot, it gets choppy, it gives you mosaic, where you get all these little pixels on the screen. So I don't really recommend that as well, but it does work, and these adapters work great with HDMI, and you can get your video and audio through this, as long as you got an HDMI hooked up to the back of your radio, whatever way you can get it to hook up. So that is that, and that's pretty good. The only bad thing is you're on constant mirror. There's no just AirPlay. It's always mirrored. It's connected to your phone, so you're tethered. You know, you're wired in, and you have to kind of hold your phone with the wires hanging and everything like that. And that's kind of hard to do sometimes. Now, the other option is you can use an Apple TV. And with an Apple TV, you do need tethering. Because in order for you to AirPlay video to this, you have to have an internet connection. Unless you have personal hotspot, okay, you can use that personal hotspot to tether these two together so that you could send video and audio over to the Apple TV. But the Apple TV, you also need a regular household plug. So you would have to buy, I think it's called an inverter, and you have to hook it to your cigarette lighter, and then it's got regular house plugs that you plug into. And then you could use the remote. You get it up on your screen, you have to have this same cable again. You have to hook this HDMI into here. You got to hook the power cord with the inverter, and you have to get your internet through tethering. And then you have to use one of these if you only have an RCA connection in the back of your car. If you have an HDMI, much better, but most car radios don't come with an HDMI. So Apple TV is nice, but it's kind of expensive to use. Just to, you know, you have to get the tethering plan, and that's not going to work for some people because you're already paying your cell phone bill, and you have Wi-Fi in your house, but you don't have it in your car. So what are you going to do? So now you got these three devices. What do? There's a new product that I'm beta testing, and it's called the Kivic. And the Kivic 1 to be exact, it allows you to get video and audio from your device, AirPlayed, Apple AirPlayed, or Miracast with Wi-Fi Direct to this unit right here. Now what happens is this unit sends out a Wi-Fi signal. Now it's not a real Wi-Fi signal like internet Wi-Fi where you can browse the web, but it's just a way to connect these two. Now remember, you need some sort of bridge, and the bridge, either you have a router that sits here with an internet connection, and this connects to the router, and the router this connects to the router, and you can send video and audio through. But this just sends out a Wi-Fi signal just for connection purposes. So it connects to your iPhones, no matter which one you have, iPod Touch, iPhone 4, 4S, or iPhone 5, no matter what connection, because it's all wireless. Now in the box comes with a home adapter, because you can hook this up with HDMI, and it also has a 3.5 millimeter and then a micro USB for power. So here's the power. You can either power it with the home plug, you can power it with a 12 volt car cigarette lighter plug, and then this is the actual power cable itself. It's simple, it's just a micro and a regular side USB. And then you hook it up to the Kivic here for power, and then it comes with these cables. Now this cable is the female version of a 3.5 millimeter video to RCA composite. Now if you have an RCA in your car, you can connect to it. If you don't have that connection, you can always use this one. It's the exact wire, but it has the male prongs. Okay, so you hook that right into the Kivic, right into here, and you hook the power cable to there, or you can use HDMI like I said. And what happens is and they also have this wire here. These are for like the newer cars, like I think Volkswagen has it, but this also transmits with just one plug and one wire. There's a bunch of wires in here, but you can send video and audio to these newer kind of cars with that kind of radio. I put some more information in the description when I learn more, but basically you could use that wire too. So now what do? You take this, you plug it in to the back of your radio, you know, with the wires that are given to you when you have some sort of adapter that allows you to do that, and then you hook up the power, and next thing you know, a Kivic screen pops up. You go in, you go to your Wi-Fi, you connect to the Kivic, all right, and it's not a real internet connection, it's just for connection purposes. It's ad hoc, they call it. So then all of a sudden you double tap, you enable AirPlay, just like this, you know. You had AirPlay, but instead of showing all my home networks, it will show the Kivic connection. And then basically you can send over music, whether you're AirPlaying or just AirPlay mirroring, or you could send over video. And it doesn't have to be just the video that's stored on your iPhone. It could be video from the internet, like YouTube. And it will send it over. It uses your 4G. So you're using your 4G, but you're only connecting with the Wi-Fi. There's no better way to get video, audio, and mirroring in your car but to use the Kivic. And when it's available, of course, I'll be posting videos about that. And in all my videos, I'll have contact information so that you can contact the creators of the Kivic and find out when it's ready for sale. And that's it. So keep an eye out for this. Now, just one advice: don't go out and buy those crazy radios with all those apps on it and tethering, and then they have a certain app that you can download. Forget about all that. Just get a monitor that has an RCA connection. You can use your iPhone as a radio. All those great apps. Just use this. What do you have to have a Pandora app on your radio for when you have Pandora on this? Just AirPlay Mirror or AirPlay, and you got it. Just make sure that you have a system that's connected to your amp. It outputs through your speakers, and that has a nice, crisp, beautiful monitor and has an RCA connection, and you're all set. So the future is here. It's coming. Don't go and spend your money on useless things. Just buy something. There it is. So this is my video. I hope I showed you all the ways that you can try to connect to your car or connect to your car. And the Kivic is a great solution. It's the best solution. You got all those other wired solutions, but this is the way to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you.